So when it comes to industrial design, what is industrial design? Industrial design is like the design of objects that are functional. So it's not they don't just exist to be sculptural. They're objects that you use in daily life. And the Japanese don't have a long history of commercialism or products or anything like that, but they do have a long history of industrial design in a way via teapots, samurai swords, tatami mats, all that bullshit, which is, it's weeb shit, but nevertheless, it's like aesthetically considered, and there's a very long history of it, and it's beautiful, and it is good design. Okay, when you get past the fact that you're a pedophile for thinking the 28-year-old Japanese woman is hot because she looks 13, and that all this shit is fucking all this fucking all that shit. Okay, get past that. The design, the art is there. There's a tradition of beauty. They understand objects. The Chinese don't have this. People who study Chinese history and go full China, which is even weirder than a weeb. Like if you like Japanese stuff, you can still be a normal human being. If you like Chinese stuff, there's no hope for you. You're totally weird. Something is wrong with you, okay? If you like North Korean stuff, you're a goner.
Well,
normal.
Chinese stuff is ancient, though.
Chinese stuff is ancient, but so are Indian arrowheads.
I know, but there's...
So is the stick and twigs out in the yard. We can go make a spear right now.
In the...
Whoosh, throw
that's
a spear.
Me. Hunting wolf.
Which, by the way, if you ever watch...
Cyber wolf.
If you ever watch Olympic javelin toss... Yes. It is extremely racist. Anyway, back to my point. So when globalization hit the Japanese, there were two things that happened that were important. One is that they have a tradition of understanding the combination of aesthetics and objects. And the other thing that happened is that they were hit with nuclear weapons. I'm out of breath from doing that.
From doing what? The javelin?
Yeah.
The natural javelin?
Joey, will you get me water?
That's normal javelin.
So the one thing that happened was they have the tradition and understanding of objects plus aesthetics. And the other thing that happened was that they were nuked by us, which, the phrase, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yes. Japan
immediately had this like psychic flip in their heads where instead of being like militant world conquerors, they were like, oh, American, cool. Johnny Blue Jean over there. Hey, you got the Levi's on. That's cool, man. Hey, I'm Jack from the 57 Chevy. So all the Japanese cars from the 50s and 60s are small scale American cars.
Yes.
They're just cars that were designed to look like a Ford Mustang or whatever. And they're beautiful. There's that whole subculture of like I love the KGC-10 Skyline, all that shit. It's fine because the cars are beautiful, but they are shrunken down American cars. So their reverence for American culture and design, and like willingness to at first imitate us and then to compete with us and then they're sort of like their imperialism kind of took back over, and then they were like, we're going to beat you with the Sony Walkman and stuff. But at every stage, it was like a healthy competition. It was like the type of competition you would want to see. There was never any point where it was like fucked up or like there was some like feces in the soup or something. It was always like
no sabotage. It was fair game.
I'm sure there was sabotage, but it was like we're going to the healthy part was like we're going to do what they do and we're going to do it better.
Yeah,
Chinese people, and the difference. Where am I going with this?
Difference between basic Chinese
and
Korea.
If you look at Korean design through the if you ever look at Korean music videos. And Korean, for example, a Korean gas station in the 80s or 90s would be decorated like a gift box with like a bow on top. Like they just had there's no like bearing.
They were coming from fucking left field.
Because 50 years ago, they were making like clay pots.
Yeah.
And then like
Their interpretation of modernity was like, gift of the earth, this is dinosaur gas.
yes, dinosaur gas. So they still have they're still East Asian, so they're industrious and they're intelligent, but they're like looking at it and they're like, oh, it make it look like a funny cake.
Yeah.
Like that type of thing.
Culturally, they were just putting flowers on shit.
And Chinese, have you ever looked at Chinese car design?
It's pretty brutal.
It is shocking.
Oh, it's fucking.
It is completely shocking.
It looks like cement buildings on wheels.
Can you go to a Chinese auto show?
Chinese sneakers. Anything I've ever seen come out of Chinese design
so,
is like the
so
Hai Ling or whatever.
Fucking
the
strange.
I'm like, whoa.
And
Linings.
What?
Sam's gonna pair this.
So
Li-Nings.
Li-Nings.
I got a pair of Li-Nings.
Just so
yeah.
we're all clear, I worked at Kobe Bryant's advertising. I could have stolen 1,500 pairs of Li-Nings. 1,500 pairs I could have had in my
You
truck.
should have got one for me.
I know. I knew I should have. I should have grabbed them. I was stupid.
Man, Walkabout Chinese show. That's a good one right there. Just watch. Just go this and skip through this here. Answer the survey.
And this one is the Penta.
The cars look like computer mice. They look like fucking. Let's turn the audio off. This fucking lame. What is he doing in China? Being weird.
And then after this, I got blown.
Being
Boy, like fucking
being a weird creep.
8 girls. It was fucking awesome. Yeah. Wow. Looks like
So you can see that like
Honda CRV.
the.
I like how they all borrow buttons. Like that parking brake button is 100% out of a Honda CRV. Like not joking. And then the so like they're all borrowing body panels and pistons and like.
But look at the fuck man the weird. There's certain shapes like let's cut to more exterior. I don't want to see this guy's face here. But there's shapes on the exterior where you can tell that they just made the shape because they could and because they felt some kind of compulsion to make it not plain.
Differentiate the rear window shape.
Make it futuristic somehow. And that's like the reasoning that goes into it. There's no.
It's all the way across the board though, man. If I'm being
I know
fair,
that's true, but it's like China's it's in its most raw form in China. Holy shit.
honestly though, man, I swear to God, if we had to say if
all
there was
bad.
ever a time in life where honestly this argument 10 years ago that me and you both fight and know exactly what we're talking about here, right now, you want to watch all these companies kowtow to the kowtow to homogenized communistic design. Even the S-Class, which is like the pinnacle and forefront of luxury vehicles.
The S-Class looks like a fucking Honda.
It looks that screen. I'm not fucking with you. The curved screen. I swear to God, that exact one that we just showed is the one they showed.
Look
and
how weird this guy is.
Yeah. Yeah. And
He's in China. He's probably trying to learn Chinese. He's a cinephile. That's what a cinephile
he's
is. What it is.
fetishizing my Asian girlfriends that
That's
are
right.
cool.
He's fetishizing the Asian girl I fuck.
Yeah, he's like this. Don't do that to Lee. It's Lee.
Treat her like a human.
Fucking piece of shit.
I'm
Stop
like this.
fetish.
Fuck out of here.
Get out of here, dude. Then you're wearing. You put on a rice patty hat and you try to spit into it. And you're like this. Yeah, dude. You ever see that movie I? That's like a really popular Chinese movie that was like thriller. I. You ever see that?
No.
Oh, you should look it up.
No, I don't want to.
No, it's good. It shows about. Oh, the Land Rover is cool.
Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to fuck, marry, kill here. I went off on a bad tangent. We're probably gonna have to edit that whole thing out. But so anyway, but the whole thing that set me off in this was the Acura NSX being designed by a woman.
Yes.
And the downfall of design. Design in terms of car design is dead. It is totally dead.
Gone.
It's gone. It will never see it again.
No,
But,
it'll only be regurgitated.
The two other problems with car design. Well, the 3 other problems. One of them is that we go for another 30 minutes. That has to be edited out. The first of all, the computer aided design. So I remember when I was in film school, they had us edit film manually. Like you have to cut the film, put tape over it. It's called splicing film. And so making a cut, you actually have to think about what you want to do. You can't just do something and then undo it and then fuck around. You have to actually use your mind to think about what the end result is going to be. And that's the reason why they had you do this, which I didn't understand until much later. But the car design now is all done on computers, and it's done with materials, the plastic and the carbon fiber and stuff. It's done with materials where there's no limitation on what the shapes can be, other than the safety and the engineering from the engineering standpoint. In olden times, with the cars made out of metal, the limitation is, first of all, what you can design, visualize, come up with in clay and with pen and paper, which is a more laborious process where you're thinking about what happens as opposed to just fucking around, clicking a mouse. I'm sure everybody has downloaded Blender and messed around with a 3D program. I know you did this too. You downloaded Blender and you messed around in 3D.
I remember that. I was making toilet designs.
Yeah. Everybody has downloaded Blender, and everybody knows how easy it is to make some shape and make a cutaway shape or whatever, and make some fucking thing. You just do it with a click. That's the same process that car designers use now. They're just dicking around in a 3D program. They're not actually thinking about what
they've been
making.
dicking around for 9 years.
Yeah.
Real bad though.
And then the other thing is the materials. Like when you make it out of metal, there's a limitation on what you can do. You're limited to the curvature, the malleability, and how you can form these sheets of metal. And I would say that limitation is what breeds true. Limitation leads to creativity. Limitation is a necessary factor in creativity. If you have a totally open field where you can do anything, the end result is going to be bad, in my opinion.
Gobbledygook.
I think you have to have limitation in order to be truly creative. In order to really make something, you have to be limited.
In the car design world, though, in respect to the car design world, you have three basic elements of innovation. You have the engine dynamics that are constantly improving based on Formula One research and development, and the big three spending money, figuring out combustion, etc., ratios, blah, 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 pulling a lot of money out of 2 liters. And then you have the body form, and then you have the new software integration, screens, etc. Mm-hmm. I think the screens, etc., are coming from the Chinese, which is the software, which is their sweet worm. Mm-hmm.
You'll have for free.
I'll give you all the computer you need.
Drink milk. Drink my milk.
This is the good screen. 7 pixel. But and then you have the engine dynamics, which are improved constantly by Formula One money. Mm-hmm. All them guys putting you can squeeze another 200 cubic out of the fucking chicken, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then, so you have an engine dynamic that you're okay, we're Honda, we're gonna run our Formula One takeoff on whatever our 2.5 liter for our new big engine car, and we're gonna push 380 horsepower out of it. Let's wrap a car around it. Mm-hmm. Then they go back to fucking Karen fucking Sampson from Sheboygan, Wisconsin to design the thing, and she's gonna switch the Equinox front panel with the Nissan Rogue door panel with the fucking Buick Rendezvous rear panel. It's awful. And just re-amalgamate it and then snap it on a frame. And then you have the new, which is the third, and then the fourth would be probably legislation. But fourth would be the screens. We're going to do screens.
The screen shit is killing me. I can't
It's fucking awful, dude. They're all about screens.
Remember the old BMW gauges that were red on black? The red, because that's like an aviation thing. Red is easier on your eyes at night. Oh, wow. That's why older BMWs all have red gauge clusters. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
Yeah. It works.
Look up, can you look up Acura NSX Designer? New NSX Designer? The last thing that has to be said is that the design is done by committees now. So in the past, you would have had one, that Nicola Materazzi guy.
He's eating bolognese.